My lords, today I bring report on a fanatical purifier, a civilization of mammalians insistent on cleansing the galaxy of all life beyond their own. They call themselves the Chosen. We have reports stolen from the Curator archives detailing the discovery of the Chosen, the subsequent war, and following aftermath, including their origin. The set of documents we have were written by an empire called the Sovereign Star Consortium, a militaristic, egalitarian megacorp. We shall begin with the science vessel Elysium, who first identified and traversed the wormhole into Chosen-occupied space. As the communications officer aboard the science vessel Elysium, I sat at my station filled with excitement and a sense of mystery as we approached the imposing wormhole. My fingers hovered above the control panel, ready to establish contact and relay any unexpected discoveries back to our empire. With a surge of anticipation across the crew, we crossed the threshold of the wormhole. The ship shuddered with gravitational forces, and the ship's central view screen flickered on, displaying a mesmerizing dance of swirling colors and cosmic distortions. As the Elysium emerged on the other side, I found myself spellbound by the sight that unfolded before us. 3 imposing gas giants occupied the system, but at its core was an enormous black hole, and in orbit of this black hole was a colossal space station. A quick scan showed it was heavily fortified. Laser turrets, autocannons, and missile bays all pointed at the event horizon of the wormhole, the exact space we now occupied. Further defensive stations appeared to be orbiting the gas giants as well, all in a similar state of armament and combat readiness. Before we could appropriately process the situation, my view screen lit up as a video transmission appeared. A mammalian alien transmitted the following message. What? You breached the wormhole? How? Our best scientists have been working on it for years, without success. This must be a mistake. A test, perhaps. You are not to be trusted. We must cleanse the stars of your kind. We are the Chosen. Mere moments passed, and a surge of dark energy rippled through space. Ship-wide alarm bells rang, jolting us from our shock. I quickly relayed the imminent danger back to our strategic command center on the other side of the wormhole. Panic filled the bridge as the menacing silhouette of a Chosen fleet decloaked off our port side. Only a mere 1,000 kilometers away, weapons charged and ready to fire. Fear coursed through my veins, my heart pounding with the weight of our vulnerability. The shriek of contact alarms sounded, slapping me into action. Missiles and torpedoes streaked towards the Elysium. I worked as quickly as possible, continuing to relay our situation back to the command center. I briefly heard the captain call for an emergency FTL jump. The missiles were closing in fast. Too fast. Time seemed to slow as the Elysium was hit. Neutron torpedoes struck the vessel midships and violently exploded. The plasma lines ignited, and the ship was vaporized. All hands were lost. The next report comes from an admiral of the Sovereign Star Consortium, sent to deal with the threat the Chosen represented. As the admiral commanding the expeditionary force, my eyes were fixed upon the distant wormhole, the gateway to the realm of the Chosen. I had with me 3 full battle groups of Sovereign warships. We would end the threat the Chosen represented. It was imperative we did not allow them to gain a foothold in the wider galaxy. Over 100 vessels translated through the event horizon of the wormhole, and we emerged in system, finding ourselves on the threshold of the Chosen domain. My battle group, a beacon of unity and strength, braced itself for the coming storm. Our weapons glimmered with deadly intent, our shields hummed with protective energy. The Chosen would meet their match. Our unwavering resolve would show them the true meaning of fanatical purpose. The battle commenced in a symphony of chaos and destruction. My ships maneuvered with precision, unleashing volleys of devastating fire upon the Chosen armada. Energy beams lanced through the void, tearing through enemy hulls as explosions blossomed like malevolent flowers against the backdrop of the black hole. The Chosen fought with a fanaticism that bordered on madness, their weapons fearsome, their tactics unrelenting, but my fleet, bound together by a common cause, stood firm. We knew that failure was not an option, that the fate of our empire would hang in the balance. We would bring light to this darkness. Through sheer determination, we shattered the Chosen's defensive stations, tearing through their lines like a tempest. The enemy ships did not jump out of system. They fought to the last and allowed themselves to be utterly annihilated. My fleet pushed on as we hunted for their homeworld. Star system by star system fell as we pressed on relentlessly. Our every victory, hard fought and well earned, served as a testament to the power of unity and determination. Finally, the climax of our struggle arrived as we converged upon what we believed to be the chosen homeworld. We expected a final climactic battle, one for the annals of heroes back home. It appeared, however, they were spent. A pathetic defensive starbase was all that defended 3 beautiful Gaia worlds. We quickly dismantled the starbase, and I detailed my ships to ready themselves for an indiscriminate orbital bombardment. As my ships took position above the 3 planets, we gave the Chosen one final chance. Surrender, submit, or die. As expected, all they had for us were insults. There would be no surrender, and as such, we unleashed a storm of destruction upon these 3 beautiful worlds. Forests burned, oceans boiled, and tectonic plates buckled and spewed magma. The threat of the Chosen had been eradicated, but the memories of our struggle would endure. We would forever carry the lessons learned, the scars earned, as a testament to the resilience of our galactic fleet. We would forge a future where the darkness of fanaticism would find no haven among the stars we defended. The next report we have details the aftermath of the destruction of the Chosen and the events that followed. Lead archaeologist Xandria reporting. Sadly, little is left of the Chosen planets, our overzealous fleet admirals annihilating everything. It pains me our military does not have more foresight. What can we learn from this mess? In any case, myself and my team were able to find fragmented records from the wreckage of a Chosen starbase. It appeared to be from a children's history class, and held records regarding the Chosen's founding and its basic history over the past few millennia. The records were badly damaged, but we were able to ascertain a number of truths. It appears that the Chosen had found themselves upon one of 3 Gaia worlds. They did not terraform and create their homeworld, nor the other 2 worlds in their system. There is also reference to a world called Opala, which, if the records are correct, was another Chosen world. And as far as we can tell, Opala was not one of the worlds that we have destroyed. This information was forwarded to the fleet admirals with great haste. Perhaps we have not destroyed the Chosen after all. Are they still out there? A number of months passed before we had another breakthrough. Deep space scans had found the Opala system. It had in it another paradise planet, and it was occupied by the Chosen, but they were not at the same technological level. Not even close. These people had seemingly barely mastered fire and spoken language. There was no evidence of metallurgy or written communication. There was, however, a ruined station orbiting the planet. We boarded it in the hope it would shed some light on the origins of the Chosen people and what happened here. The abandoned observation post above Opala appears to have been repurposed shortly before it was abandoned. Though there is equipment to survey the inhabitants on the planet below, most of it seems to be dedicated to a museum of Chosen history. Curiously, for such a warlike species, subjects relating to violence seem to have been avoided, and exhibits appear to show rituals of peace and fertility. A series of data crystals have been left in the control room. It is evident that we were supposed to find them. We set to work to unlock the crystal's secrets. It was not long before the first was translated. It was prefaced with the words, "This is the record of the Charinoi people. The Charinoi is the name of the species who became the Chosen. This record has been left behind by the prophetess Ithcarios, so that those who might find us may forgive our sins." What followed was a collection of historical, philosophical, and artistic works from what we assume to be a fairly standard, if somewhat belligerent, late industrial society. Our linguists are packaging up the crystals and sending them back to our homeworld for further analysis. The second crystal has now been translated. Now I should recount where it went wrong, where we first fell to the sin of arrogance, exclaims the prophetess. It appears that the second crystal recounts how the Charinoi gradually uncovered the mysteries of spaceflight, seemingly about 100 years before we did. They found 2 beautiful planets in their own system and concluded that those had been bequeathed to them by the gods as their birthright, which they now claimed. In horrified tones, the prophetess recounts the darker side to these early exploits. Other pre-FTL civilizations occupied these worlds, and they did not willingly yield them. Beaten into submission, they were enslaved and eventually dwindled, falling to diseases the Charinoi did not care to cure. The final crystal has now been translated. Eventually we exhausted the confines of the space that we had been bequeathed. We knew the existence of the wormhole, yet it defied our study. Our realm was so bountiful, so full of beauty, that it was not hard to convince ourselves that we were the chosen, that the wormhole was a test, and once we were worthy, it would be our holy purpose to spread across the galaxy. I was once chief amongst those seeking to fulfill this duty. However, when inspiration came to me and I realized I held the key to opening the wormhole, I prayed for days at the shrine of my ancestors, and when I eventually achieved revelation, I found that we were not worthy. If we went beyond the wormhole, we would find only pain. Our homeworld would be scoured out of punishment for the crimes that we had committed. As such, I resolved to destroy my research and seek a different path. It was hard to find those who I could trust. If we were discovered, we would surely have longed for a quick death. Though I am more convinced than ever we were right. We would have been seen as apostates. Eventually, I launched a daring plan. Under the guise of making a fool's attempt to fly the wormhole blind, we built an arc ship to sail into the unknown towards the distant stars. For many years we travelled through empty space until we came to our destination. Now, we wish nothing more than to be left in peace, to live a virtuous life, so that we may prove that not all of us are evil. It would appear, my lords, that the descendants of that arc ship now occupy this world, although how they have regressed so far is beyond us. The data crystal continues. Apologizing profusely for any harm done to us by her brethren, the prophetess describes her attempts at raising an impenetrable shield around Opala, so that her people would never again be tempted to seek the stars. She failed, but we believe our researchers could complete what she failed. We could erect the shield now, if we so desire. It would appear, my lords, that the sovereign people did not encase the world in a shield, as per the wishes of the long-dead prophetess. They instead invaded it, purged the primitives, and took the planet for themselves, ironically repeating the cycle. Thanks for watching, folks. If you want to hear lore about the lost paragons of Stellaris, please click the video on screen now.